Hello and welcome to Nithrania Game Club. My name is Branislav Berec and you're watching Game in a Nutshell, the series of videos designed to teach how to play various board games. Today we're going to learn how to play Tang Garden from Thundergriff Games. In Tang Garden, players take roles of engineers who have been summoned to build a magnificent imperial garden. Players will primarily build garden tiles from these stacks and place them on the game board, and they will also place these decorations on the existing garden tiles. In addition, they will collect the sets of these decoration cards, which also score victory points at the end of the game, and they will also place these characters on the game board, and those characters score victory points based on what they see in their line of sight. Each character has a completely different preference. The goal of the game is to collect these coins, which are actually the victory points. Players will gain these coins from the characters they place on the game board and from collecting the valuable sets of decoration cards. To set up the game, place the game board in the middle of the table and place this starting tile in the center, oriented in any way you want. Place 4 types of garden tiles in the designated spaces and reveal the top tiles face up. Then shuffle these decoration cards and place them near the game board. Shuffle these small and large landscape tiles and insert the top 4 small tiles into these starting spaces on the game board. Place both stacks of the landscape tiles next to the game board and place the top tile from each stack next to the stack, so that there are 2 tiles visible from both the small and large landscape tiles. Randomly place these landscape tokens in this kind of a diamond shape in a 4 and a 3-player game, and in this square shape in a 2-player game. Give each player a player board, place these cubes on starting spaces of each track, and place these 4 lantern tokens on the designated spaces. Take these 6 starting character cards. Those are the characters with these squares in the top right corner. Shuffle them and give one of them to each player together with the corresponding miniature. Then move the cube of the same color as the square which is in the top right corner of the character card, 1 space to the right. Shuffle the remaining starting characters with all other characters and place the deck next to the game board and reveal the top 2 cards face up. Randomly determine the starting player who will get this first player token, and you're ready to start. In Tang Garden, players take turns, starting with the first player and then continuing in a clockwise direction. On your turn, you must perform 1 mandatory action. You can either build a new garden tile, or you can place a decoration on the existing garden tile. You can do one or the other, you cannot do both. Then you can perform some optional actions. You can influence a character, place them on the game board, and they will score victory points at the end of the game. You can also use one of these lanterns by flipping them face down, and then you can use the special ability of that lantern. And finally, if you have some of these landscape tokens, you can discard them and refresh 1 lantern which you have used previously. The game will end when there are 3 or fewer of these landscape tokens on the game board, or when one of these 4 garden tile stacks is depleted. When you decide to build a garden, you have to choose one of these 4 stacks of tiles, and you have to choose the top tile from the stack, and that tile has to be face up. You cannot choose the tile which is face down. Then, after you choose the tile, you place it on the game board and you will get rewards. By placing the tile, you actually build the garden. When you place the tile, it has to be adjacent to any existing tile. In addition, the terrain types have to match. These red walls can be attached to anything, to any terrain type. Then, for any edge of the matching type, in this case water and water, you can advance the corresponding track marker by 1 space. So for 2 matching edges, I can advance the watery track marker by 2 spaces. Then for each matching footpath, you get 1 coin, and coins are victory points at the end of the game. Players keep their coins somewhere next to their player board. When you match 2 footpaths, like here and over here, you can either gain 2 coins, or instead, you can advance any one track. You advance the track by 1 space. When you enclose the terrain type, like in this example, I have enclosed this watery area, you can move the corresponding track marker 1 space to the right. You can use walls to enclose terrains, however, edge of the map does not enclose terrain types. When you place this special garden tile, edges don't have to match, but they enclose terrains, so this greenery terrain would be enclosed. Then when you gain rewards for this special tile, you will get 1 coin for the tile itself, and then you will get 1 coin for each adjacent tile with the same terrain type as the special garden tile. In this example, even this edge has the adjacent greenery terrain type to this tile, so that will be another coin. Now, even in the future turns, if any player would place a garden tile with the matching terrain type as the terrain type of that special tile, that player would gain a coin. All the rewards are cumulative, so after placing the tile like this, I would get 1 coin for matching footpath over here and 1 coin for matching footpath over here, so I could either gain 2 coins, or instead of 2 coins, I could advance 1 track of my choice 1 space. Then for the matching rock terrain over here, I can advance the rocks track by 1 space. And for enclosing this rocks terrain, I can move this rocks track again additional space to the right. When you build a garden tile and you cover the space with this landscape token, you take that landscape token and keep it near your player board. Then choose the landscape tile of the same size or of the same type as that token. When you take this token with the picture of a house, you can take 1 small landscape tile, one of those 2 visible tiles, and when you take this token, you can take 1 large landscape tile. Then insert the chosen tile into the game board. Small tiles are inserted into these inside spaces. Large landscape tiles are inserted into these outside spaces. If needed, reveal a new tile so that there are 2 tiles always visible in both stacks. All landscape tiles have these icons which are important for the endgame scoring of your characters. I'm going to talk about it later in the video, so choose and place these tiles wisely. At the end of this build a garden action, so after you take the tile and place it on a game board, do not flip the new tile face up automatically. Only when there's just 1 face up tile remaining, flip all other top tiles face up. When you don't build the garden tile, you must place a decoration on one of the existing tiles. Decorations are always associated with the decoration cards, and specific sets of decoration cards score victory points at the end of the game. So, when you decide to build the decoration tile, first draw 2 cards from the decoration deck, and then 1 more card for each stack which has the face down tile. So in this example, that would be 2 more cards. Then choose one of those cards and place it in front of you, and discard the remaining cards face up into the discard pile near the decoration draw deck. Then place the corresponding decoration in the garden on the designated space, and obviously that space must be unoccupied. Then you can immediately gain the bonus, which in this case is moving the marker on the rocks track 1 space further to the right. There are several types of rewards on the decoration cards. These ones allow you to advance the corresponding track 1 space. This one allows you to move any 1 track 1 space further, and this one allows you to take any 1 landscape token from the game board, place it in front of you, and then choose the corresponding landscape tile and insert it into the game board. Some decoration cards don't have a bonus. Now, in case there is no space on the game board available, or if there is no decoration tile for that card, you cannot choose that card. So you would have to choose a different one, and in a rare case, when you cannot choose any of the cards, then you will not choose any of the cards, but you can still perform any optional actions, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. After you finish the decoration action, flip all the face down cards from the stacks face up. That means at the end of the decoration action, all the tiles will be face up. Each decoration card has a name and a symbol in the top left corner, and your goal is to collect these sets of decoration cards as depicted at the bottom of each card. For each set, you will get coins at the end of the game, and coins are points in this game. I'm not going to explain every combination and all the symbols on the decoration cards. You can find them in the rulebook of the main game and also in the rulebooks of the expansions. Each player starts the game with one character and the miniature which is placed next to the character or on the character card. Such character with the miniature on the character card is called active character, and active character has an active skill which player can use during their turn. To influence or gain new character, you have to advance all your tracks to the next level. So as you can see, you can influence maximum 3 new characters during the game. So during the turn, when you reach the next level with all your cubes, you can take one of the 2 visible character cards or draw the new card from the deck, and when you take the card, take it also with the miniature, and place the card together with the miniature next to your player board. Then immediately reveal the new character. Then you have to choose one of those characters and place the mini on the designated space on the game board. Those designated spaces have this icon on the garden tiles, and you can find them on the garden tiles, you can find them on the bridge, and you can also place the character inside this pavilion. When you place the miniature on the game board, you have to face it in one of the 4 cardinal directions on the game board. So either facing it down, to the side, up, or to the other side. You may not face it diagonally, always into one of the 4 cardinal directions. This will be very important for the endgame scoring. When you place the character miniature on the game board, there is always one character with the miniature next to your player board, and that character remains the active character. Only the active character's skill is available to you. Skills of other characters are no longer available. All the characters on the board will score victory points at the end of the game based on what they see, and that's why it's very important which direction they are facing. Each character card has the skill, then this line with a specific icon, and then this side preference. Some characters prefer to see the specific garden tiles in their side, as in this example, and those characters have this diamond icon on the separation line. Other characters, like the lady, want to see specific landscape tiles, and they have this circular icon on the separation line. In addition, they will score 1 victory point or 1 coin for each decoration which is in their line of sight. Now, the line of sight is one line in one cardinal direction and includes all the garden tiles or the decoration tiles and all the landscape tiles at the end of that line. Line of sight also includes the tile with the character. You can find the description of all the skills and sight preferences of all characters at the end of the rulebook. When you reach the next level with all your cubes, but there are no spots on the game board available, or you simply don't want to take the influence the character action, you can take this character token. Now, this character token can be used later in the game on your turn to perform this influence the character action. However, you must use this token before you reach the next level with your cubes. Otherwise, you will lose the token. So when you decide to use the token, perform the influence the character action normally. If you have the character token and you reach the next level with all your cubes, first of all, you lose that character token. And with that, you will lose the opportunity to use the influence the character action for this level. However, since you have reached the new level, you can use this influence the character action right now. Or, if you wish so, you can again take the token and try to perform this action later on your next turns. And finally, when any single cube reaches the level with these coin symbols, you gain those coins. It's for any single cube. So if you reach this level with all your 3 cubes, that's gonna be 6 coins or 6 points in total. When you reach this level, for each cube you would get 5 coins. Once per turn, you can use a lantern special ability. Simply flip the token face down and activate the ability. When you use this token with 2 garden tiles, you can place 2 garden tiles one by one and score both of them. When you use this special ability, you can place 2 decoration cards one by one and gain the benefits of both of the cards. When you use this special ability, you can move one of your characters to a new character spot on the game board, and you can also change the facing of that character. Both actions are actually optional, so you can move the character without rotating it, or you can not move the character and simply rotate the character in place. Of course, you can do both if you wish so. And when you use this special ability, you can either use it during the influence the character action, and you can choose a specific character from the deck, or you can use it when you place a new landscape tile on the game board, and again, you can choose any specific tile you want. Obviously, shuffle the deck afterwards. And finally, the last optional action you have on your turn is to refresh a lantern which has been used previously. To do that, you have to discard 3 landscape tokens of the same type, and in a 2-player game you have to discard 4, and then you can flip 1 lantern token face up. When there are only 3 or fewer landscape tokens on the game board, or when one of the piles of the garden tiles is depleted, the end of the game is triggered. When the last player in the round order finishes their turn, the game will be over. Count up the victory points or the coins which you have collected over the course of the game, then add the victory points from the decoration cards, and finally add the victory points for the characters you have on the game board. The player with the most points wins the game. So that's how you play the Tang Garden, the base game. These expansions bring more character cards, more decoration cards, and some thematic scenarios, so then you can have a very nice mix of characters and decorations. You can also explore it on your own, you can experiment on your own, it's up to you. If you would have any questions or comments, please put them into the comment sections below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you like the show, please subscribe. My name is Branislav Berec, you've been watching Game in a Nutshell, and hope to see you next time.